My life in Leamington began in the Warneford Hospital, which has now been demolished for quite a few years. From there, I moved into my grandparents' place with my mother. I've got two brothers. They're both younger than me. I think there's a 5-year gap. The first one's 5 years younger, and then the second one came 7 years later. I'd been an army cadet for about 4 years, and it had been my ambition to join the Grenadier Guards. This I did in 1956. Came out of the forces. There was big headlines in the papers about people were earning £100 a week in the car industry. The first job I went to was at Automotive Products, Lockheed, on the Tatchbrook Road. Leamington was so majestic and so perfectly clean. Everybody respected everybody, and if anybody was to step out of line with what was regarded as normal standard, they would get such a black look. We had the Second World War, and that was a very sombre occasion, very sombre indeed. 1948, the parade was dug up to the depth of 16 feet, and they replaced the whole of the sewer, the town sewer from top to bottom, with bigger pipes to accommodate all the expansion that was going on. Is that we still had gas lamps in 1948, so the electricity came on in 1949 down the main street of the town. And then all of a sudden comes 1951, which was a marvellous year, that the Lights of Leamington came up. And this really lit the town up. And when people heard of it from miles and miles around, they used to come by train and all sorts of transport to get here. In the 1950s, went up to Blackpool Illumination. It was a compliment to it in a way, or they complimented each other, perhaps is a better way to say it. It was magical at Blackpool, but it was also magical at Leamington, but for a different reason. You went through the main gate and you paid £6 to get in. And you've got the lakes on the right hand side. On the lakes, there was a musician on there playing a piano or organ for the nice evening music that was appropriate for the time. And people used to gather around and listen to that. And when they were ready, they would then saunter off and make their way around the gardens. And then you've got every flower bed got its own lampstands and was brilliantly lit, as well as the standards of floral standards in the flower beds was really great. You wandered up the main boulevard, as we'll call it, and then as you went up there, you came across what was another outstanding thing, was the floral clock. This was made particularly of all flowers, and the mechanism was hidden away, so how it works, nobody knew. It was a great mystery, but it always had the correct time, the day and night. And you got things like Alice in Wonderland being illustrated, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, all the Disney characters were all of the time. They were all there because, don't forget, Disneyland at this point hadn't been built even. This was very revolutionary, Leamington, with the Lights of Leamington, and it moved on each year. The different set pieces, the scenery of Venice, for instance, where you can see where the Bridge of Sighs is, the Doge's Palace, and St Mark's Square, and New York Skyline was another one. You've got images of the Queen Elizabeth, the boat, all lit up, and they were across the other side of the river, but where the mill gardens are, and they're all lit up beautifully. They had this skyline with these windmills and tulips and God knows what from Amsterdam. We used to have a singer around called Max Bygraves. he used to sing a song, Tulip from Amsterdam. So that was a singing point where whenever the organist on the lake was a tune for the moment, and everybody would join in because they knew the words. So then you could go up a bit further on. There was a tea station there where you could buy light refreshments and snacks. They erected a tent there where they had groups playing, and you could do your own dancing, but whichever style of dancing you wanted, which at that time rock and roll was coming into being. I did have a dance around, it's particularly on the rock and roll side of it, jiving. This beat music just got into your soul, and you just couldn't help move something, arm and a leg or anything. And eventually it got so that you had to get up and dance. So there was a good variation of music that everybody got enjoyment from. People used to do what was called the Pally Glide, which would two ladies or three ladies would just link arm in arm, and they would just shuffle around the side of the floor. And then you might get that, all do the hokey cokey. Anything went. People just let their hair down and they had a good time. And people that never knew each other, and from miles away, they all got together and just joined in and really had fun. If you wanted to, you could relax in the Jeffson Tavern, which was another tent that was built up appropriately, and chairs and tables that you could sit outside and have a good chin wag if you wanted to outdoors in a lovely summer evening. Every time you turn round, you got something different. No matter where you went, you were amazed by, oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, that's marvellous, isn't it? Wonderful. I was in awe of everything. No matter where you turned, there weren't just plain yellow or white lights. There were various colours of the rainbow shone into the leaves of the trees and down to the ground. I wish we could bring them back. And this is what people want. You've missed something sensational. You just cannot imagine what it was like unless you've been to see it. This is just something so phenomenal. It was breathtakingly beautiful.